stream where I start and I don't do a jacket card silly voice Fantune voice bit. Because this is it. No silly voice at the start of the stream this time. It's just me. It's literally just me. Like, there's nobody else in voice chat just yet. So hello chat. I'm loading up Metroid Fusion Randomizer from last stream because it was very fun and I want to continue playing that. And then we'll see. I guess it'll depend on how long it takes to complete the seed or how much left there is. Also gave me a Super Metroid seed for another randomizer run. It's not like we're just trying to bide our time until Beyond comes out a week from now so that we can just focus on that for a bit. And then maybe after Beyond, go back to God Hand or Pokemon or some of the other games that we had. Oh my goodness. I'm just seeing what's going on in the chat. Wow. Hey over there, everybody. How's everybody doing? Oh, I recognize that Braven Beak. Gosh, he's so cool. He's so cool. Hey there, chat member. Hope everybody's doing fine. If you're from the US, happy Thanksgiving, or happy late Thanksgiving, I guess. If you're not, I'm so thankful that you're here. In general, really appreciate all of you guys. To have a Friday night is to have company in some form. Yeah, of course, right? Also, Lizard Tomboy. No, it's just Lizard. We gotta. Gosh, well, we gotta. Why? I thought it. Never mind here. So yeah, I'm just prepping up the files to be able to play this, but otherwise, the idea is to kind of just chill out, play some Fusion Randomizer, try and complete the seed. In worst case scenario, if I do end it up early, there's a Super Metroid randomizer seed that was randomized for me on the get-go to play, and if not, I can always just swap to some other Metroid game or Animal Crossing or some other stuff. We'll see. And still like 2 more streams, including this one, before Beyond comes out. That is a scary thought. This might be the most anticipated game I've anticipated, period, ever. No cap, like, period. When Prime 3 was teased, this whole thing with Silex is, I was in 8th grade. Jeez, that's forever ago. How old are you? What percentage of your life have been waiting for Prime 4? Well, if I look at the math, if I'm making the math, I am old, and I've been waiting about half of it for Prime 4, give or take. Maybe a little bit more than half of it. So yeah, I guess that when you put it that way, 100% anticipated, most anticipated game to have ever been teased or announced or unannounced or whatever you want to call it. I don't think there'll probably be something as exciting or that I'll anticipate as much, because even I assume that like if Prime 4 has a cliffhanger for a Prime 5 or whatever, that it won't be as long as the wait between this and Corruption or even I guess Samus Returns and Dread. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if after like Beyond we would get Metroid 6 or whatever it is, Why do you think there isn't a Prime 4 edition of Switch 2? For the same reasons there isn't one for Mario Odyssey. Oh no, Mario Odyssey had a Switch 1, but that was after effect. Well, I think it's just that they probably don't sell as much as Zelda or Pokemon or Smash. There's a Samus new Nintendo 3DS that they released for Samus Returns, but that's kind of like a bit of a debate because that was at the end of the system's lifespan. People were more concerned about buying a Nintendo Switch rather than a new Nintendo 3DS to play one Samus game. I wasn't. I sold my old 3DS to buy that one. But I'm honestly kind of glad that there isn't like a Prime 4 Edition Switch or Switch 2 because that just sucks. Like, sure, it looks cool, but I would rather if they gave me things that I could customize my system to look like that. So I'm more surprised is that there's no Joy-Cons or at least a Pro controller. Like back when the original Switch came out and like Xenoblade 2 had its own Pro controller, which I still say is the prettiest of the Nintendo Pro controllers, alongside the Tears of the Kingdom one. That you know they didn't do one for Dread or Prime 4, which I think would be more exciting and more obtainable than a system which is like $450, and then you gotta spend $40 for one amiibo and then $30 for two other amiibos. So like, do you really want the Metroid Prime 4 true experience to be 450 plus 70 plus 40 plus 30 plus 30? You know? So have you been able to successfully avoid any and all spoilers until now? Yes, I am still as blind as I was back in September. I don't know anything aside the fact that there's like a Federation trooper guy, and I've seen like the helmet in passing bits on one piece of fan art, but that's it. And I wouldn't really call that much of a spoiler, you know. Yeah, the remaster of a Zelda game had a special pair of Joy-Cons. They look pretty. Skyward Sword ones, yeah, they were blue and purple. But, you know, at the end of the day, all these new Nintendo stuff is so expensive. Like, you know, the Viola amiibo is $40 in itself, and I understand why it's $40. It's like the Samus plus the bike, it's pretty big. But it still seems like, you know, for $40 I can buy so many other games on the Switch that cost about that much. So it's kind of hard to sometimes justify the price. If I were to buy one, it'd probably be the Silex because I've been more excited about that shit turd than anything else in Metroid, I guess. Anyway, Manbird, hope your day's been good. I took a wrong bend today, and now I'm back. My back is making problems for the third time this week. Oh, that sucks, Shaylee. Do stretch, man. So if you have like any warm patches or like a towel you can make with warm water and put it on, I find that helps when the back pain and all that. But yeah, that really sucks. I'm just gonna look prepping ahead for class. Well, good luck with that, Brian. No, it's just lizard. Viola sounds weird en español. Bueno, obvio, pero el juego se hizo en inglés, entonces no me importa tanto porque también hay muchas cosas que se hacen en español que suenan raro en inglés. El estudio es basado en Texas. El juego es hecho es producido por una compañía japonesa. Me imagino que le dan más prioridad a cómo suenan en esos dos idiomas antes del resto. Y se escribe Viola. Entonces no sé si se pronuncia igual porque tampoco he escuchado. I haven't heard, as I was saying in Spanish. It's written V/O and a cap O/la, and I don't know how you pronounce it. So, because again, I haven't seen any of the teasers or trailers. Happened to the Nokia Lumia in Spain, and some Carmatos have around the world. Yeah, I mean, it always happens. I think that would make it more on brand, the fact that like it's a bike and it's having those names, things. I did see that we have confirmed amiibo functionality for what the Prime 4 amiibos do. That I did see because I was genuinely curious because, you know, that's an extra monetary investment you gotta do no matter what in order to get the amiibo content. So I just wanted to know what it was to justify whether or not the prices were justified, if you may. I could share the details if anybody does not know and would like to know. I wouldn't really consider it spoilers, giving that it's just like the things they unlock. All right, trying to find. We really could use either the gravity suit or speed booster. We need both of them in order to fight Nightmare to collect the MacGuffin to go fight the SAX and finish the game. The items in here, I one need diffusion missiles. The other I need gravity suit, and then the last two I need speed booster. I do hope Viola gets a gunship skin based off the shit we saw in the prologue of Prime 4. Well, if you, I don't know what it is, but apparently, from what I've heard, and I read, the Samus Varia Suit amiibo from Prime 4 will unlock a music player function so that when you're writing on the Viola on the map, you can change the background song to be whatever you want it to be, which I think is pretty cool. The Viola bike itself says that it brings like a new skin for the bike. So by all intents and purposes, I guess there's a way that there might be a way to get that exclusive skin and maybe others that you unlock in the game. Federation Force did something similarly where you can tap in the amiibos to get some special skins, but you could still unlock a lot of them by just playing the game normally. And then the Silex amiibo, when you tap it, he says a voice line apparently, but if you tap it, then you can just get the 100% ending without having to go out of your way to collect all of the items, which I find to be, all of them. And then all three of them do something along the lines of the Metroid Dread, where you get like an energy tank or an extra energy blank that lasts for the rest of the day, and once it's gone for the day, type of stuff. So I'm kind of glad that the functionality isn't so far as like fusion mode is tied behind the Metro amiibo and Samus Returns. But we'll see how it is. That's what we know. I find it very exciting, and the functionality is sort of like minor, but I still would like to see if there's a way to unlock them in the base game. Maybe, who knows, the game is kind of like Corruption, and you get credits or things for completing the game, or maybe achievos, and that will unlock those features normally. But if you use the amiibos, you can just unlock them out of the gate type of stuff. So, because yeah, the Silex is like, all right, the 100% ending is just unlocked so that file just ignores whatever your percentage is. But you can still go ahead and, if you don't have the amiibo, go collect all the items to get the same cinematic. I think it's awful what Phase did to penetrate other planets and fill them with its seed without consent and make more of it. Glad it died. It's not just that. It was not just planets. It was every living thing across the cosmos. It was just assimilating it and consuming it. And the nightmarish thought is the Death of the Hunters reveal is that, not even in death are you safe from Phazon. It consumed their spirits, more or less, just like it did the Chozo ghosts in the original Metroid Prime, because it managed to corrupt them in their spiritual form even. So it's not just a corruption of mind, body, but also soul. And that's just what makes, Phazon and Phase so scary by the third game, because you just think, oh, Phazon corruption just takes over your body, kind of like the Borg in Star Trek, You relinquish control of your body. But even in death, with how it happens to Gore, Rundus, and Gondrade, I always interpreted it that like even their spirit was lost to the Phazon corruption. I heard we were playing Fusion. Yeah, we are at midnight. Glad to see you here instead of Kirby Air Riders. Following with the bit, when the game was first coming out, I guess we can be friends again because you're back here talking. That's another game that I've not looked into, mostly because I won't be able to play it, and it's a game I'm a huge fan of the original Air Riders. It's my favorite Kirby game, and I don't want to do myself that like torture of seeing the game that I have no ways of going and playing. I've been slowly weaning, but I'm also not on my Switch because I'm hosting Friendsgiving, so I'm drawing instead. Oh, that's sweet. Hopefully we could have done a Friendsgiving over in the server and hang out all again, but different schedules and time zones and all that stuff. Not as easy as when everybody was just in the the lockdown. So, you want radio station for the viola? Yeah, why would I want to have a radio station for the viola? Imagine if I get to play like the tracks from the original Prime games as a neat bonus. I hope a skin change with the amiibos like Dread Suit or the Dark Samus skin. Oh wait, I have Gravity Suit. Alright, then never mind. I can go get those things in the other... We can go in the other underwater sections. I guess I forgot I got the Gravity Suit. We must first demolish our biggest enemy, Time Zone. Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit difficult, but at least... Right now, we're just like an hour difference from each other, which is way more manageable and stuff. You know, I try to be in the voice chat most of the nights that I can and just hang out and stuff. I also hope a skin change with the amiibos like Dread Suit or Samus, Dark Samus skin. Yeah, those would be fantastic. But I think that the one issue with having those that I can think from a logistics standpoint, you know, in Nintendo's development, is that if you're gonna do that, then you might have to distribute those amiibos in order to get those abilities and not lock them out for anybody who just didn't get into Metroid back when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out with those amiibos, or Dread with those amiibos that have not been available in stores outside of maybe Japan in ever. So I feel like that would have just added more complications, because now, you know, you're trying to sell 3 new amiibos. But I'm with you that I hope that if you already have those like old amiibos, you can use them. But my stance has always been that if you do these amiibo stuff, offer a version that you can unlock them in the game without it. Just make it difficult, you know, or whatever. I wonder what kind of music Space Pirates like. Industrial space jazz. Yeah, the time zones are in our favor for right now until spring. Me when I play Prime 3. Yeah, well, I'm playing Prime 3 on the Wii with my brother. We sat... No, there we go. Hold on. Okay. I believe I am back, so I'll start my train of thought. So, yeah, I died for a second. But my point was mostly that I love corruption. I think the story is the perfect bow for the ending of the Prime trilogy and Phase On as a whole, and the cosmic horror that it can do and all this other stuff that I think was super necessary. However, the execution, the more I play about it, you know, it's more of an action game than a Metroid exploration stuff. No, it's not it's not a problem with your guys' end. It was a problem on my end. So please do not if you can hear me right now, and you saw that it was the internet had like a little bit of a hiccup on my end. It wasn't on your end. Your hearts don't show up? Oh, what if I want to fight Twitch mobile anyway? Yeah, it really does suck that like it's not the mobile version hasn't been like fully updated, because most of the time when I would want to watch a stream from my friends and stuff like that, it happened to be that I either want to have it on mobile, so they're like in the background while I'm doing chores, or and that way I can simulate that I'm vibing with them and chime in from time to time. But who knows? But yeah, it's more that corruption. I realize why I play the least, and it feels more like an action game set pieces with puzzles that not all of the times feel Metroid, in environments that don't really show you much of the culture or history compared to the other ones, of course. And then on top of all of this stuff, you also have to like spam everything with the hyper mode, and you fight space pirates in every single planet. So like, the novelty of what makes the space pirates spooky and intimidating, like the original Metroid Prime, and even on Echoes with the Dark Commandos and the Dark Pirates and stuff like that, is kind of lost on you, because, well, here's, you know, pirates on the Olympus, pirates on Norian, pirates on Brio. There's an entire section of Brio where you're just fighting pirates, more than Reptilicas or the Warp Hounds. Pirates in Elysia, and only 10 bots and flying smally bots are the original enemies in that area. before you go what? Pirate Homeworld, so it's more pirates, you know? So it feels like more action in that area. Where I still think they could have kept all the war and action stuff of the escalation of Phazon without necessarily having to sacrifice, you know, the exploration and environmental storytelling from the original games. Corruption was also, in my opinion, much easier, which did wonders for me because I'm bad at games. I honestly think that Corruption is the second hardest of the trilogy. We say it's easier because we have hyper mode, and hyper mode nukes everything. But when most of the things only die quick to hyper mode, and you can't really kill them as quickly with the rest of your inventory, I feel like that's a much of an easier issue with the combat and all this other stuff. Because, like I was playing it, I just beat more. If stream dice, my ISP is having troubles. I don't know if people can hear me now or even see me, but I'm just leaving a message. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm back. It's in the red. I didn't have these issues the other days, so the only thing I can think. Yeah, I'm gonna go reset my router, I guess. I'll be back, because it's still in the red. That's a shame. All right, trying to weigh my options here. Because I could go reset my router, and could be back in 15 to 20 minutes. But all right, I'm gonna go. I'm resetting. Setting my Wi-Fi. Be back in 10. All right, no, wait, no, it says we're back. I was about to go reset my router, but I'm back in the green. I'm just gonna chill out for 5 minutes. If anybody's here and can hear me, please confirm that you can hear me and that you can see me. Whoa, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. But if it died, oh no, I'm gonna go reset it.